Welcome back, beer tubers. Ryan here with another episode of San Diego Beer Vlog. Thanks for joining me once again. I haven't had plans to review really any like Christmas specific beers, but I figure I'd do, another seasonal that comes out towards the start of winter, at least winter seasonal for Sierra Nevada, and that is their Celebration Ale. This beer's been produced for many years now, and it's their fresh hop ale, not a wet hop ale, fresh hop ale. They're using the freshest harvested hops in this beer, and this is of course the 2011 version. I believe they use Centennial, Cascade, and maybe Chinook in it. I can't quite remember. Maybe we'll say so on the bottle. Let's see. But they're using, of course, whole leaf hops, as always with Sierra Nevada. And I'm trying to remember the ABV on this one. I believe it's around 6% ABV. This beer actually, I've heard, ages really well for essentially an IPA. Okay, it pours a very hazy, light reddish color. Definitely, or maybe more like a burnt orange when you hold it up to the light. A lot of like caramel malts in there than a typical IPA would have. About a finger or so of just kind of off-white head on there. Let's get the nose on it. Fantastic nose. You really get that fresh hop character on there. I mean, you can tell these hops have been just harvested and dried and used in this beer. It just has a different aroma considering the hops in there. There's definitely the grapefruit going on. A lot of grapefruit, some sweet orange in there. Definitely get some like earthy, resininess character in there as well. Definitely some sweetness from the malt coming through. Caramel notes, breadiness. It's got it all in there. Maybe like a touch of a spiciness in there as well. Probably coming from the hops. But supposedly they brew this same recipe every year. But let's give this a try. Cheers. Yeah, just a really nice beer. Definitely tends to be a little more hop forward, fresh, that's for sure. That's a pretty good mouthfeel for an IPA, or I believe it's categorized as an IPA. It's kind of like our take on a winter IPA in California, since it doesn't get too cold, except for up in the mountains, generally speaking. So this one's. There's definitely some balance in there. I get a lot, like right now, I get a lot of lingering, bitter grapefruit peel going on. So it's not quite as balanced, but I hear it will turn into a nice malty beer eventually. Up front, you do get that sort of resiny, piney bitterness, bitter grapefruit peel. A lot of that going on. Kind of leads almost to like a spiciness up front. Midway through, the sweetness kind of comes into play somewhat. Start getting that malt backbone. The caramel starts to come through, especially as it warms. I'm drinking this kind of, more IPA-like temperature. But as it warms, you're going to definitely notice more malt coming out. But it's certainly a hop forward beer. So I took a little break from the review. Just wanted to sip on this a little bit more, let it warm up. Definitely getting much more of like a piney character on there, which kind of almost goes into a spice character. So it's got some nice hop elements, flavors coming through, along with the really kind of like ruby red grapefruit kind of peel character to it. But in there, there's a touch of a sweet hop character in there, maybe like an orange, kind of maybe peachy-like character, which is pretty interesting as well. So it actually has some decent hop complexity to it. Malt, caramel malt, breadiness kind of keep coming up. It's not super complex on the malt bill. At least fresh it's not. And this is one of those beers been around so long. Unfortunately for me, there's been like IPAs that surpass this, but I still look forward to this every year. I still buy it every year. I think it's a great beer. I'm gonna go B+ on this one. I just think there's just other IPAs out there that kind of unfortunately have surpassed this one, but it's such a classic beer. It's a beer where I can see people just absolutely loving this beer, giving it an AA+, and I can see people that think, well, what's the big deal compared to such and such IPA, and they might think it's pretty average, but I think it's really close to being just like completely excellent A category when you put it up against everything else. So that's why I'm going to go with B+ on this one. But I recommend definitely checking it out if you want a nice winter style IPA, at least from California. So until next time, please comment and subscribe. Cheers.